Deputy, are you ready to go? Ready. Well, let's go get somebody then. All right, now, citizens arrest, citizens arrest. Where'd you go, Barney? That's an illegal U-turn, citizens arrest. I love that crazy episode, though. Go on and haul that.
All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're heading down to Mt Airy to see the Andy Griffith Museum, and we're also going to take a little ride in a cop car. This ought to be a pretty good video, I hope. So first thing we're going to do is hit Denny's real quick, and then we're going to head on down the road. So stick with me, guys. Hopefully this will be a good one. Hopefully I get some drone footage. I'm going to see if I can fly the drone behind the cop car as we're going. I think that'd be pretty neat. All right, stick around, guys.
They would give them brand new phone calls. All right, you want to stop it. Nip it in the bud. You see him do that? I did. Deputy, ride him up.
All right, we've made it. We're officially here. Late, but, you know, it's the way we roll. We're always late, so anyway, we're going to walk over there and get in our squad car and head on out.
Yeah. It's called handcuffs. Now, why was you stealing chicken this morning for?
My chickens are gone.
Sounds like she might have taken. Yeah. She likes these things.
Since 1889, but we've been host to the world's largest open granite quarry since then. What makes this thing unique is they can see it from space, the astronauts, well, and they've been mining since 1889, but they've only went down to 40 to 60 feet in 32 years, which the first thing crosses your mind, well, they're not doing nothing. Oh, yes, they are. There's a very simple reason why this quarry is shallow, and that's part of the history of it. So we'll share the information over the quarry with you. So we'll spend a few minutes there. Now, across the street over there's a little church built out of that stone in 1904. Now, the way that was put together was accidental. Some folks think that was somebody's divine design. Nope. 1904, the best they could do was blow the stone out of the quarry and drag it over here and throw it together like a jigsaw puzzle. But as you see, it's flat foot turned out to have some awful pretty character in the church. So we're going to see more like it. We're going to see it change. Then we'll work our way up to the end of the story. So, Deputy, are you ready to go? Ready. Well, let's go get somebody then. All right, now, citizens arrest, citizens arrest. Where'd you go, Barney? That's an illegal U-turn, citizens arrest. I love that crazy episode, though. Go on and haul that. Now, in 1960, when the Andy Griffith Show came on TV, the Ford Motor Company became their corporate sponsor. And their agreement with the show was that each season that show came back on TV, they would give them brand new phone calls. All right, you want to stop it. Nip it in the bud. You see him do that? I did. Deputy, ride him up. But anyway, like I say, they give them brand new cars every season. And they took them back at the end of the year and stripped them down, repainted them, sold them to the public. And before Andy died, he'd have told you, as far as he knows, there are no original cars left. Now here's a tremendously commendable story on behalf of Aunt Dee. 4 months before Frances died, she got a hold of someone and said, please let Andy know I need to talk to him. So they did. Andy called her up and said, Frances, did you want to speak to me? She said, yes, Andy, I want to apologize to you. I'm very, very sorry. He said, for what? He said, well, I felt like I started working on the show and I was very unkind to you, very unkind. He said, Frances, you don't owe me no apology. All that was just part of the show business, part of the work. So please don't fret about that. And I credited him for going about that as a gentleman and not a jerk. Restaurant. And I love that episode where Jimmy the Goat eats a dynamite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Everybody thought he was going to blow up. And every time I asked Barney, what's going to happen? He'd say, blew it. Then on down here to the left, when we get there, you'll see Barney's Cafe, another great place people love to go eat. And then through the next 2 lights on the right, you'll run across Walker's Soda Fountain and Opus Candy Store. But none of those names were actually business with Andy Griffith that come along the last few years because of island tourism. But now the snack and lunch is still in business, mentioned on the show where Andy went to as a young boy, the barber shop where he got his hair cut. And then you've got about 150 names that was used on the show, reflecting that in the background. Here's where all that's put together. Before they filmed anything on the Desolate Studios in California, Andy came home here with some of the writers and directors to give him a 2-week tour. And during that 2-week tour is when they wrote the script of the show based on Andy's hometown. So this was the inspiration by name, but everything was filmed in California. Over here to the left is the Earl Theater where Andy went to as a young boy. And used to tell everybody he's going to the picture show. Yep. Now right over to the right, you'll see the barber shop where Andy got his hair cut, and it's right next door to the Snap and Lunch where Andy used to go and get a nickel bologna sandwich or a hot dog. Let's stick got that sandwich. They're already lined up to get in the stack of lunch cakes between 1 and 2 since 1923. Oh, yeah? On weekends, it's unreal. And father used the widow of Now we're going to top the hill and take a left on the right-hand street corner. You're going to see a street corner sign that Jerry Van Dyke made well known. Jerry Van Dyke was on one episode. During the episode, him and Andy stepped out of the courthouse. Andy walked down the street and said, Jerry, go down a few blocks to the corner of Hayboard and Rockford and meet across the guard for the school. Now, when that episode aired in 1965, Andy's mom and daddy was still living over to the right next to that patrol car. Okay. Hopefully Otis will leave in just a minute. Come on, Otis, move. But now the sign, which you'll see in a minute, hopefully, says Andy Griffith's home place, 1935 to 1966. But now Andy was born June 1st, 1926. The first 9 years he was alive, he and his mom and dad actually were homeless. Huh. For 9 years they bounced around between Mt Airy and Ohio, between relatives, before finally making it back here, and his dad buying a house at 35. Well, they lived here. Of course, Andy goes off to college in the mid-40s. He went to the University of North Carolina, received a degree in music, and while in college, he met his first wife, Barbara. Well, after college, he and Barbara spent the next 3 years in Goldsboro, North Carolina, where Andy taught school. And after that 3-year stretch, sometime back, I run across an old interview Andy made years ago, and he's telling a story about leaving school. He said the last year he taught school, he went to the principal, turned his notice in. So he told the principal, says, I'm gonna take my little comedy act and go across the nation and make a living. He said, that didn't go over too well. He said the principal stood there and chewed him out for about 5 minutes. He said, now Andy, you know good and well that's not a proper way to make a living. As you and I know, Andy made that guy eat them words. She stepped off the bus to come towards the barber shop. Andy was standing there grinning like a possum eating bear. Says, yes sir, that's certainly not a boy. And then the last two that stood living is Ron Howard, who played Opie. And also his little brother on the show named Clint Howard. Now who was Clint Howard on the Andy Griffith Show?
I'm wrong.
You remember a little boy used to walk down the street all by himself in the episode ever so often. He never ever said a word. He's always wearing the cowboy outfit and carrying a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He'd go up to the bar and talk to him. Bar say, no thanks, Leon.
Yeah.
That was Clint.
Okay.
And he's been in about everything Ron Howard's ever produced. And he came a few years ago and he was just blown away by what he's seen. Huh. And he said, I can't believe so many fans still left for the show. And he's come several years since. He'd love to slip off at Leon's early in the morning and eat breakfast when somebody else gets there. Huh. Well, Deputy, let me shake your hand. Our chicken thieves never had a chance to get away.
All right, that was our tour of the squad car. We're going to go into the courthouse, and I can't remember what the other side thing said. We're going to look at the cars real quick, and then we're going to the museum. Excellent tour, guys. Definitely. Hopefully, if you guys go, you get the same guy we got, because he was extremely knowledgeable. I'm sure they all are, but this guy's grew up here. So anyway, we're going to head on over across the street real quick and check out that.